What is going on, everybody? It is Monday, February the 21st. I have a migraine, and that means it's time for my news radar. That's right, if it looks like I am barely hanging on to life by the ends of my fingers, that is because that is indeed what it feels like. I am not well this morning, but I wanted to still get a news video out to you guys because I'm just that damn dedicated. And let's start things off today with some news about the project being undertaken by a lovely gentleman named Gustav to bring Windows 11 to the Surface Duo, because he's tweeted some updates here. He says the CPU cores are now boosting properly, so Duo is now running about twice as fast as it was before, running, of course, Windows 11. And this is a screenshot, which is still quite strange to see. This is apparently Windows 11 running on the Surface Duo, and you can see here that we do have a Snapdragon 855 running at 2.84 gigahertz. That is what Duo is. 5.7 gigabytes of RAM. That is what Duo does have. So this is definitely Surface Duo. This is real. This is happening. He then does go on to say he'll post an updated benchmark later on in the day. This has not happened yet. Some cores are still not running at the complete proper speed yet. And of course, you know, this is in line with what this guy's already said. He's working on the foundational stuff first, getting the firmware and the basics down before he moves on to other things. Lots to do in regards to power management, if not most of it. He then does say touch does not work. He says nothing really works. It's important for end users aside from, so these are the things that are working: the left side display out, side buttons, core frequency regulation for one cluster, USB, UFS of the storage, and then the RAM. So no touch, no audio, no cellular, no GPU, nothing else. So there's still a lot of work to be done, but I wanted to give you that little update as to where we are now. 9 to 5 Google has what appears to be the first bit of information about an upcoming phone from Google. And no, I don't mean the Pixel 6a. I don't mean the Pixel Notepad. I mean actually the Google Pixel 7 and 7 Pro, because they've managed to find a little bit of testing data here. So as we know now, the Tensor chip GS101 is what the current Pixel 6 and Pixel 6 Pro are running, as well as the upcoming 6a and the Pixel Notepad, as I just mentioned. Well, now we do know that Google is, of course, doubling down on Tensor. This was not going to be a one-off, because they have found a processor model number, GS201, and they connected it to Cloud Ripper, which is a code name probably for, as they say here, an internal-only developer testing board. Digging deeper into the Android 13 developer preview, they were able to also determine that this upcoming GS201 Tensor 2 is going to be using a currently unreleased Samsung modem with a model number G5300B. For comparison, Pixel 6 is 5123B, which is an Exynos modem. So this is going to be using an updated Samsung modem, and this makes a lot of sense because Samsung does a lot of the work there on the Tensor chip. They were also able to determine that there are several code names attached to that chip, like Cheetah and Panther. Those are likely the code names for Pixel 7 and Pixel 7 Pro that we should see sometime this fall. So while none of this is really shocking information, it just does confirm what we probably were already expecting. Google is making a second-gen Tensor chip. No clue yet as to the specifications, what might change from Tensor 1 to Tensor 2, but they are doubling down, and they're going to continue developing this custom silicon for their upcoming smartphone devices. And now we do have, of course, those code names for the 7 and the 7 Pro. So watch out for those two code names as you see them in the news. You're now going to know what they mean. We also now know that it looks like we won't have to wait too much longer to see a follow-up to Xiaomi's Mi Mix Fold. Of course, this was their Samsung Galaxy Z Fold competitor / clone, if you want to be a little bit rude about it. Because it looks like, from Android headlines here, the Xiaomi Mix Fold, notice they've dropped the Mi, apparently the Mi branding is going away. The Mix Fold 2 is apparently going to launch sometime in Q2 of 2022, which is not that far off. Pictured here is the original Mi Mix Fold, which I think was a pretty solid looking device. It was a little too tall and narrow. It took the tall, narrow thing of the Z Fold and took it to an even greater degree, which I think was probably a mistake. And we don't know if that's going to be changing or not, but we do have some rumors that the device is going to feature an 8.1-inch main display. And if we look here at GSM Arena, we can see that before that was an 8.01-inch display. So that's actually a relatively big jump in the grand scheme of things. But we don't know exactly how that's going to shake out in terms of the actual dimensions. If you see this photo up here, you can kind of see what I mean when I talk about how tall, narrow, skinny this thing really was. It was very tall and skinny. So going to 8.1 inch, I mean, is it possible they're going to widen the thing out and that's going to add that extra near full inch to the device? Personally, I would hope so, because I actually do like Xiaomi's software. I know it's very iPhone-esque, but I think it looks nice and it's different from what we see on Android normally. So I'm really interested in the Mi Fold 2, in particular if they can keep the price down like they did the first time around, as the first one did launch for right around $1,500, and we've seen the Z Fold kind of slowly creep down in price. Well, if the Mi Fold 2 can drop in price again, maybe this thing, man, could they get this thing down to $1,200, $1,300? That would be quite exciting, in particular for those of us who've wanted a foldable OLED device but haven't wanted to drop damn near $2,000 to do it. Definitely keep a close eye on the Mi Fold 2, and as more news comes out about it, I will definitely keep you updated. And let's wrap things up here with a quick overview of some of the new features in the newest developer preview of Windows 11. This is from Windows 11 Developer Preview Build 22257, and there's actually quite a bit of interesting stuff in here to take a look at. So let's jump over here where you can see the desktop on my Surface Pro 7, and let's look at what we've got here. So one of the first things that I'm really enjoying is the added gestures. So now you can actually swipe up from your taskbar to access your start menu, and I really love the way that feels. I think it's nice and smooth and it looks quite good, very Chrome OS like. You can do the same thing over here to the side to pull out your little quick settings menu. I like that quite a bit. Obviously you can still swipe in from the right side to pull up your notifications, so forth and so on, and then from the left side to get your widgets, which I literally never look at. These are a bunch of random widgets that I've not even taken the time to customize. But one thing you can also do here in regards to the start menu is you can now do folders. You can see here I have a folder of my YouTube apps, and it's really, really simple to make them. All you have to do is long press and drag one on top of the other, and it will create a folder just like that. If you want to get rid of that, you should be able to long press and drag that app back out, and now the folder is gone. That's something we've been wanting to have here on Windows 11, and it is finally coming. Now, another feature that we've had here, let's open up a web browser so that I can show you this, is the ability to use these snap layouts, where if you put your cursor over there to your min, max thing, you get this little layout where you can click something and it will snap it over there to the side. But the problem is, if you're on a touch screen or something like that, it's a little bit harder to do. But now you can actually drag up here to the top and then drag it into one of those positions, making that a much easier process to do on a touchscreen device in particular. You also have access to something called live captions, where you can hit Windows Control L and you'll get this little pop-up here, which let's open up something here on YouTube and I will show you exactly what that's like. And you can see here as this video is playing, we are getting live captions up there at the top, and this is just a really nice accessibility feature for those who may need it. And again, Windows Control L will activate this feature. Now guys, there are some more features. These are just sort of my favorites here so far, the ones that I've looked at that I've enjoyed the most. I'll put a link in the description to an article by On Microsoft where they go over at least a couple more. Guys, that's all I have for you today. I'll see you on the next episode, and until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.